Terrible.
Anyways, we're going to talk today. So there's this quote that I've posted, and I believe you've posted as well, that says, the right one will not bring you confusion. They'll bring you peace, and you'll know. And we're going to break that down a little bit. Because I definitely think that, like, first of all, it's not all that simple. Like, you're not just going to be like, this is the one. If you are, you should probably be concerned because you're probably in fairy tale land. And
we've done that also, right?
Yeah. Oh, fully. That probably means you're in love with the idea of a person and not the person themselves. But I will say that in my personal experience, there have been people that were calm, that did bring me no confusion. I created the confusion in my own mind and problems that didn't exist based off of my own insecurities, based off of past trauma, based off of even before back when I was younger, I didn't have any trauma. Insecurities or like growing up in the industry or like watching too many Disney movies, honestly, well, it's not this, or I should feel this, or maybe because he did this, it meant this. It's a lack of communication. And I think the only way, we were talking about earlier, like how do you decipher if it is confusing or not, is communicating. Because if I would, the example we were using, I was talking to this guy and I thought he had ghosted me, and years later I found out he was asleep. Okay.
Within 24 hours, you just like went crazy.
Within like 24 to 48 hours, I think I had blocked him instead of communicating. But even if I had communicated, or even if he did communicate with me, I was creating, like, I didn't want to believe it, right? I was already hurt and already, like, went there. So you have to calmly communicate to be able to figure out, like, is this confusing, or am I just getting confused because I don't know?
What's a realistic time frame? You give them more than 24 hours. What about 48 hours, and then you still haven't heard from them?
Oh, yeah. So
they better have a good excuse.
Ghosting timeline. I do think that it doesn't count as, like, because I posted about that the other day, and everyone's like, well, when does it count as ghosting? I think it depends, for sure. Like, if someone, like, I will ghost my own friends. Like, I just the other day, today, actually, I looked at my friend. Let's see how many times my best friend has texted me, and I've left it on red. Okay, we only got 2 days here. Then last week there was one that was like at least 3 to 4 days in a row she had texted me.
If I haven't heard from you by the time
1, 2, 3.
If I haven't heard from you within 2 hours of me texting you, you've ghosted me and I'm pissed.
Okay, so that's not.
No, I'm not talking about just with guys. However, that's like anyone that I'm consistently texting, right? Yeah. However, I do it and don't even realize I'm doing it.
Yes.
Right? So like I'm like, if I'm not used to talking to you, or if you randomly hit me up, or I'm busy or whatever, I'm not texting back at all, actually. And then I get people upset at me, and they're like, I'd like text you, never text me back. Yeah. And I'm like, I do that too.
Yes.
You know?
There it is.
Right?
Yes.
And but I'm also like, well, if I'm texting a guy, right? In my mind, you're a priority. Like, I'm waiting for them bubbles sometimes to pop up, right? So I have trained myself throughout the years to not be so crazy about it. Like, the older I get, the more, like, I'm not so impulsive with that.
Yeah.
But, dude, if I haven't heard from you in, like, 4 or 5 hours, and we're used to texting, or, like, you go a whole day without communicating with me, like, come on.
So here's the thing. I think that your brain in that moment, because I've done that, our brains process it as, you don't care about me.
Right. I'm not a priority.
I'm not a priority.
But you're my priority.
Yeah.
Which is an issue.
But not everyone operates that way. Because, like, my best friend, like, she is a priority. I do care about her. But I was worried about this or that, or work, or maybe it was, like, my car, or, like, usually it's stress with work, or this or that. So I think the guys' brains work more like that, where they're compartmentalizing things. They're able to just focus on what they're focusing on. So it's not that they don't prioritize you. It's that their brains are waffles, right? And ours are spaghetti.
Oh,
so
my God.
They are over here in this box.
What book is that?
I don't know.
I've heard that before somewhere.
It's definitely like a thing.
Yeah.
So they're over here in this box. Say they're playing a sport. They're in practice. Their brain is in practice, which is why we were just talking about earlier. They're so good at the things they are so good at because they can compartmentalize. We can be at work while thinking about what we're making for dinner, while thinking about what he's wearing today. Is he fed? Is he having a good day? How is his mood? While thinking about the girl over there in that office was acting a little bit like this today. Maybe she meant this, and I also need to get 10 things done. And what am I buying for my friends for Christmas?
Exactly.
So I think that we have to take that in consideration when it comes to the timeline of ghosting and just give them space. Because the healthiest relationship I had is when I finally let that go. I finally was like, I don't care. I'm going to stay busy with my own stuff.
Yep.
And I would hear from him once a week. Once a week. And then eventually, because like you said the other day, men fall in love slowly.
They do.
Eventually, can I see you more? And a few more texts. And always responding. And then all of a sudden, eventually, we're dating in a full-fledged relationship and we're talking every day.
Right.
But that didn't happen right away. Whereas me, I was ready to get married. You know what I mean?
But what if, right, the inconsistency piece comes in. So, like, say you're used to talking to this person every day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you don't hear from them for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, so I think that there's a little bit of like, it depends, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does.
Because sometimes you could be right and your gut is telling you something's off here and they literally are dating someone else and they've lost interest and you could tell them kind of pull back.
Right, but guys, if this happens, communicate that. Don't just go ghost.
Yes.
And
male and female. I mean, we deal with guys all the time that DM us are like, what did I do? She ghosted me. Like, it's not that hard to send a text and be like, hey, I've reconnected with someone, or I caught feelings for someone, or maybe you don't even owe them that. Just, hey, this isn't really working for me. I wish you the best. I just want to let you know so you're not sitting there wondering.
Do you think females or males are worse about it? Or you think it's just people in general?
I think it's people. I think it's this generation.
I do too.
And it's especially people that are not mature enough and don't have the balls enough
to tell someone.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to deal with rejection, and them rejecting you is they're worried about the backlash. They're worried about the rejection.
So you just don't say anything.
Tell you, it's easier to just say nothing. It's a cop out. It's weak. It's
so
lazy.
What about? So back to the quote. Okay, I think the quote says something along the lines of, if it's confusing, if you have to ask too many questions, if there's no peace in it, like there's no God in it, essentially, right? Yeah. So like you mentioned something the other day about like older couples who were like, dude, the beginning of our relationship was insane. Yeah. Like we weren't supposed to work out. Yeah. So then I think that it's a double-sided coin. Yeah. In a sense where sometimes there's not a one-size-fits-all for everything. Correct. Right? So sometimes you can be in a situation that may be a little confusing, that you're supposed to go through a little bit of a trial to see if like this is gonna be it. However, on the flip side of that, if you're constantly asking yourself a million different questions, is this going to work? What's this person doing? Are they thinking about like all of that, right? Yeah. Is it
you or them?
Right. Or is it not of God, right? Like there's so many different facets around that. Like no one situation, everyone's situation is going to be unique to them. Mm-hmm. So like maybe there's 20% confusion in it. Maybe there's 60% confusion in it. Like who knows? And maybe you're the one making it confusing,
creating,
and they're not. They're just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. I have a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what I will say, thinking back on so I was telling Crystal that I have asked all the older couples, how did you meet? How did it start? And it's not always we met in church and then we dated for 9 months and then we got engaged at an appropriate time and we met each other's families and we did exactly what we were supposed to do and it worked out perfectly. Right. 9 times out of 10, that's not how it went. However, what I will say is I don't think that there was a lot of So they didn't necessarily always do things right. For example, I met these two couples when we were in London, and one of them, they'd met and moved in together within like 5 weeks or something crazy, like 3 or 5 weeks, crazy fast. And then there was this another couple that it was like his third marriage or something, right? So that all being said, like they didn't do things necessarily the cookie cutter right way. Like life took them on a roller coaster ride, or like they did things the wrong, quote, quote, wrong way by moving in too fast or whatever. But neither of them said like, he wasn't making me feel good about myself at the beginning, or that confusion wasn't there.
He didn't want a relationship, and she was holding on to hope that like maybe he would come around. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Not always.
I mean, I think that
now I'll say I have seen a couple cases where like that did work, right? But it's rare, right?
Yeah. I think that like, I mean, I'm probably not the right person to ask because I've watched way too many Disney movies.
Right? And Disney messed us up.
It does. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because we think I need to be like swept off my feet and this and that. And also like, for me, I know that there has been stories. There's one in my family, I won't say who, but like one family member like didn't like the man, and the man pursued her, and now they're like one of the happiest like married couples ever. So like that does happen, but for me, I don't react well to that. Like when I don't want someone, you must stop pursuing me. I'm not asking you, I don't want you to continue pursuing me. It is not going to work. Like I want to, the moment I see someone, be interested in them, and I will like either lose interest or stay interest, but I'm not gonna like, only one time in my life have I grown to fall for someone, and it was still a disaster. So
I don't work like that either.
Yeah, so I think that it's kind of like, that's a deep core beliefs type of thing.
But don't men kind of work like that in a sense?
Yeah.
Obviously there's the initial attraction.
Yeah.
But like we were saying, like men fall in love over time.
Yes.
So they have to kind of grow into that.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that about?
What is that about?
You know? Now, I won't say for all men. Like, there are some men that are like, I seen her, I wanted her, I fell in love. Like, that was it. You know?
I really believe it's like personality and upbringing. Because think about it. The reason that I believe, the reason that I am like, I need to have liked him since I saw him is because I need to believe that like this is someone that I'm not settling. It's very important for me. So if I know that the moment I saw him I was interested, like I'm not going to worry later on like, am I doing this for the wrong reasons? No, I chose him, I saw him, I wanted him. And that never changed. It was consistent. It's important for me. Not all girls operate that way. So I think that, and that has to do with upbringing and whatever, like your early childhood, like trauma or experiences or early breakups or whatever it is, you know. So for me, that's really important, but I don't think that that is the case with everyone based off of too, like how are their parents? How is their family, like their parents' marriage? Like all of that has an impact on that. So I think that that's why some guys will see and be like, I'm in love with her as she's the one I choose. Maybe his dad operated that way. Maybe he knew his dad, like saw his mom, like saw her, pursued her, married her. And so in his mind, that is what love is supposed to look like. But then maybe guy over here didn't see that growing up. So it takes him longer because he maybe has a little bit of trust issues with women. So it takes him longer to fall in love because he's not sure if he can trust her or not yet. And then once he feels like he can trust her, the walls come down and he falls head over heels in love. All based off of psychology, upbringing, childhood, blah, 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 blah.
Let's talk about the one that got away.
Do you have the one that got away? Do you have one that got away?
I am the one.
You're the one that got away.
That got away.
Okay.
Multiple times.
So, define that.
Okay. So, I will put up with a lot of shit when I care about someone.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm very monogamous. Like once I have my person, like that's my person. I don't see other people. I can't even see other people in that way.
Yeah.
So once I'm in it, right, And it takes me a minute to get there sometimes, right? Once I'm in that, like I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Like it's hell or high water together. Like we are, you're it for me. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna be patient with you. I'm gonna go to the bitter ends for you, sacrifice myself even in some ways for you, right? So I do that. And if I ever decide that I'm done doing that, there's no coming back for me, ever. Like I have made a commitment to like love you and like put up with so much and like do all of these things, right? Knowing, giving you forgiveness, giving you chances, giving you all this stuff, right? Knowing how I operate mentally. Once I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
Warning you, like, once I'm done, I'm done. Like, don't take that lightly. I have multiple different cases of that that I haven't even told you about, right? We talked about some other ones. And once they mess up enough times, and like there's this moment of clarity that happens for me. Once I'm done, there's no going back. I can't emotionally reattach to you. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like there's just not that for me. Yeah. So what has happened in my past happened with people who have loved me throughout the years, even people who have rejected me and then wish that they hadn't later on. Okay. They try to come back, and I left such an imprint on their life. Like I'll always be that person, and then it's just I'm the one that got away, dude, because I can't. I can't. Never.
You can't unknow. I call that, you can't like unknow, or you can't unsee.
Yeah.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
There's probably like 3 or 4 that I will always be the one that got away for them. Yeah. And in all honesty, they let me go.
But here's the thing. Why did you put up with that in the first place?
Same reason they put up with me. You know, like it's not, I'm not going to blame this person for like doing bad shit, right? Everyone has a part to play in the relationship.
No, it's not about that, but it's about why you allowed it. Why did you stick? Because I've had, so I have my like 2 worst, you know, I've had like, you know.
Yeah, not all of them were some of, like I said before, like even the rejection piece, once you tell me you don't want to be with me and I have moved on, I'm not coming back type thing, you know?
But I look back and I wonder, and I look back at the 2 most toxic relationships, and I think it's about figuring out like why we allowed that. Not I blame them for doing this and that. I knew with both of them they were starting to get abusive pretty early on. It wasn't physical yet, but it was verbal, it was emotional, it was controlling, it was yelling, it was screaming. Like, why did I allow that, right? And so for me, I felt like I wanted to prove to them that someone could love them like I could. And I think that when you really take that deeper, it's like, why did I need to prove that? I was trying to prove myself, my worth, instead of looking at God and knowing, I'm trusting that God would have someone that I didn't need to prove myself to. I didn't need to prove my love. I knew I could love aggressively. And I'm like you. And also I want to go back and talk about that, because that's a really good point. Like, I had to untrain that my brain would meet someone and hone in and no one else exists. Even if I was like, earlier in my earlier years, I would still be flirting. But no one else existed. No one else existed.
I think that's how it should be.
Well, I don't. Here's the thing. I think that there is a healthy balance, because the problem is, and I've also really been...
When you're in a relationship?
No.
Okay, okay.
Early talking, you just met someone. No. Like, I used to, the moment I get a crush, no one else exists, right? So, but the thing is, especially like as adults, if you do that, like you're cutting off the potential of all these other people for someone that you like don't know. It takes 6 months to get to know someone. Now, I'm going to argue again back with myself. We're ping-ponging here, okay?
I disagree.
So I was like that originally, too loyal. I think that that is unhealthy. Then I was like, no, I think you should date different people. That way you can get to know different people. It takes, ideally, you become friends with different people. Once you're sexual or intimate with someone,
Well,
you
yeah.
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so ideally, you get to know, like you're in a church community, you get to know, by default, if you are in a community, multiple men. And then one of them becomes your friend. Then you become best friends. Then you start to date. That would be in an ideal world, right? But now, the way that I feel like is because of how I personally operate, I can't help but like catch feelings. Like I go into, now I need to slow myself down. I have to slam on the brakes. But I do not think that I personally, and it's different for everyone, I cannot handle entertaining more than one man at a time. It is not good for me. It is not good for my mental health. I rather entertain one person at a time. If it doesn't work out, cool. At least if I've pumped the brakes, I was still working on myself and doing my own thing at the same time. No harm, no foul. I move on to the next. But I can't emotionally, mentally, spiritually handle having multiple men in my life at the same time. That's where I've landed at the moment on that.
But that contradicts what you just said.
I know.
Okay.
But that's what we have to do. We have to learn and try and grow and see what works for us. Because I do think what I just said does work for some people.
It does work for some people.
What I'm saying is it does not work for me.
It doesn't work for me either. Yeah.
Because we are lovers and we are extremists.
Yeah, but also I think that dating to marry is a good thing. I don't think that honing in on one person and getting obsessed with them early on is healthy. I don't agree with that, obviously. Do I do that? Yes, I have in the past. However, I've finally gotten into a place now from being alone, forcefully, whether or not I really wanted to or not in some areas, that if I'm going to date, I already know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And I'll know within like a week or two. Yeah. And I'm out. You know, like I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go any further than that.
Yeah.
You know? But also, I feel like I have been in an incubator, as you call it. So like when it's time, whoever it is, God will make it very clear to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not out sleeping around catching feelings.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
You know, which that was my next question. Do you catch feelings even if you're not sleeping with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that because it's so hard for me to fall. So I'm like you, where you said you can identify in a couple of weeks. First date for me. You do one little thing wrong, I can see it. I can like already, because of maybe the way that I overanalyze people and behaviors and
you've probably had more dates than I have. I don't really put myself out there like that. So you know people, you know the cues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially because like I've been single for 4 years now. So it's very rare that I go out on a date, but when I do, like I'm there intentionally. It probably took asking me a bunch of times to even go in the first place. So I'm hyper analyzing everything. Now, is that completely healthy? Maybe not. Being a life coach probably actually makes me overanalyze and overcoach myself at times. But yeah, I am. It's okay. When I was in Seattle, I think over the period of that year, I went on 18 first dates. I never went on a second one because I immediately knew. I was like, nope. I could just tell. And I don't even know, honestly, like, how it was able to be that many. But, like, it was...
Where do you find these people? Dating apps?
I think when I was in Seattle, one was, like, at the dog park. One was, like... Gosh, I'm, like, I can't even... I feel like that was, like, forever ago. And then after, I told you, when I came home from Seattle, I put myself on lockdown. So I stopped dating because I'm afraid of LA guys. So I stopped dating when I got back to Seattle, and that was 2 years from Seattle.
I don't think I've ever actually
met someone in person.
Met someone in person to go on a date with someone that I've never met before. I've attempted it.
Yeah.
Okay. Online, you know, dating apps, things like that. And it's always been like, they're just trying to smash.
Yeah.
And I like don't even go any further with it, and I
Yeah.
just get disgusted after a couple
Yeah.
weeks of even trying, and I just stay in my bubble.
Every time I've had a dating app, it lasts about 24 to 48 hours for that reason.
Right. So where do you?
Like, this is gross.
But I don't go out either.
I'm trying to think.
I don't go out.
I would like to like look back in Seattle. I wanted that year to like do a blog about it and like write down those signs so people can like look for them themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm making up the number 18 in my brain because I'm like looking back, I can't even think of more than 3. One of them, like I said, was I met at the dog park. And I was like, I'm not going to go out with you. But then his dog got along really well with my dog. And so I was like, fine, one doggy play date.
So I need to get a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like I literally can't remember. I guess they weren't very memorable.
That's hilarious.
There was one, I went out for my birthday. I went out and we met some there was like the Seattle soccer team was out. He ended up having a wife, so I didn't see him again. I didn't like go on a date with him, but that's a person that I met in person. I literally can't remember any of the others, so I'll have to come back to that. But yeah, like Instagram. I met people on Instagram.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
I definitely met people on Instagram. I met one guy in London who I actually ended up seeing. It's like everyone that I've met in the past 4 years, except for those 18 dates that I can't remember, I met like on Instagram and like would actually talk to and get to know them before ever seeing them in person. And sometimes like didn't even. One of them also, and I just remembered another one. That was like the year of pro athletes because Seattle is like all pro athletes.
Yeah.
So he was a pro football player.
I need to go to Seattle.
Yeah, they're literally all athletes. Like they're everywhere.
Yeah, but aren't they like big hoes?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But I mean, I only went on first dates, so I wouldn't be able to tell you much more except for it was.
How did you meet them though?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. Instagram, dog park. I'm trying to think of the other ones. I know I said 18 first dates. In conclusion, I think that the answer to everything is go slow, right? Like as slow as humanly possible. We're going like 2 miles on the freeway if you don't want to crash. Well, people will crash into you, but you know, like I think that when I was fresh out of a relationship and I moved to Seattle and then I spent a lot of time alone. So anytime I allowed myself to go on a date, I can't remember. So maybe it was 5. Maybe I just wanted to like go. Maybe my goal was to go on 18 dates and then make a vlog about it. That sounds like something I would do. But the point was that because I got so comfortable at home and in my space and at peace, it was easy for me to quickly identify this is not going to be for me, and I can see where this could go just by his habits or his mannerisms or demeanor or something that he said about this or that felt like it could be kind of controlling. Like I could just pretty much catch on very quickly. And I think it's important for us, especially if we are the type who fall really quick. That's what your original question was. Can I fall when I'm not being sexual? It is really hard for me to fall for someone because I immediately am like, nah. Literally, like, I operate, I think, more, it's so funny, because I feel like, in a lot of ways, you're a tomboy, but I feel like I operate more like a guy, and I think maybe it's a little bit of a protection mechanism. Like, it takes me a lot to fall, but when I fall because it's, like, so rare for me to find someone that, like, stimulates me intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, I feel safe with. Mm-hmm. So when I do, I, like, hone in.
Right. I don't want to have sex with someone if I'm not getting that stimulation already.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
Yeah. That's a whole different podcast.
That is a whole different podcast.